I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. Person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for getting through the first segment of our show. We had some problems. Turns out my VPN was being attacked across the globe. They were DDoSing my VPN, so if it happens again, we know what that's all about. Yeah, luckily when you start the VPN again, it finds a new location. They have to find it. It takes a while. But as you can see, this effort is to stop us, this third party, from growing. And the reason why they're so afraid of this third party is because we are here to unite the country. We're right in the center of the political spectrum. Our ideas appeal to both the left and the right, and that's dang dangerous to the two-party system. And if you understand that our platform has been stolen by Donald Trump and by Hillary Clinton and others, that they've taken ideas from our platform just to promote their own parties, you'll understand how serious this problem is. My coloring is related to a light that I have in the show, which if I put it on me directly, that's how bright it'll be. Would you prefer that light? Because I think that the light personally is, yeah, it's just a light bar I'm working with. Yeah, we're in the center of a problem. Is this better for you? I mean, I look great no matter what. Now, because these Republican Trump-tards are in the room trying to say that we're no better than the Democrats want to push you into LGBTQ land. I'm not going in that direction. Yeah, so you understand, everything I do is to improve the signal, but as you can see, I could only get it so good. I mean, that's best corrected. All right. If you stop moving, the pixelization calms down. Right, but I'm not really worried about that because I'm feeling great. I don't have scurvy or jaundice. So. No, my eyes are red from shower water that's contaminated with toxins. I put my eyes under a shower recently just to freshen up. Because that's the first thing you do when you go to a motel room is freshen up, right? Anyway, that being the case, I don't have any problems physically. I feel great, by the way. I don't think we need to have a minimum age at which we consider anybody a transgender. I think calling people a name like transgender is discriminatory. And I think you have to stop calling people names. Now, if they want to be a transgender and they're wearing a t-shirt that says, hey, you're a transgender, then fine. I don't care what age they are. Bottom line is, the LGBTQ message is being heralded by the Democrats, and the communist message of total takeaway of your property rights is being pushed by people like the Social Democrats. We, at the centrist movement, America's Third Party, will not take away your property rights, will not push communism, won't push socialism in your face. We'll protect the rights of the individual, paramount. We will stand by the rights of the states, the 10th Amendment. And we won't cave in to powerful corporate interests like the Democrats and Republicans have. It's a very simple plan. Plus, we support the right to bear arms under all circumstances. And that's something Republicans can't commit to. Donald Trump wants to push a complete takeaway of guns for people with PTSD. That's like throwing gasoline on a fire. You can't do that. It's impossible. You can't take away the rights of somebody who's fought 2 world wars. There are men right now who are sitting at home with a collection of weapons that they'll never use. If the government stood by their house and said, hey, we're coming in and take your guns because you're a vet, there may be a problem. But if we don't ruffle their feathers and take away their rights to bear arms, then we won't have a problem. So that's where we stand, a centrist position. So the Democrats are pulling you down a gutter of liberalism, and the Republicans are pulling you down into the corner of corporate elitism and allowing corporations to step all over the American people. Do you know that we've lost $5.5 trillion over the next 10 years because of the crap that Donald Trump has done by giving tax breaks to the rich? 2 sessions of Congress have totaled $5.5 trillion in tax breaks for the rich. Now, the stock market may be looking good only because these people are rolling in cash, and they're just a few investors that are making decisions at the stock market. And that's why the stock market may be buoyant right now, but in reality, most investors are fleeing to gold and silver or even Bitcoin. So I don't have an opinion about transgenders personally, because I think the whole subject is a manufacturing of the Democratic Party and the liberals that are trying to push our entire nation into transgenderism. For us to talk about transgenderism on Truth Tuesday is almost absurd. That's a diversion, okay? In fact, gun control is a diversion as well. So let's not talk about gun control or transgenderism tonight and take on the real issues of homelessness, environmental destruction, the BS wars that are being fought, and the idiot president that wants to start wars all across the globe. Let's talk about that, guys. Let's not waste my time talking about transgenderism and gun control. And stop talking about racism, too, Tom. You're diverting, and you're doing exactly what the Democrats, Republicans do all the time. Now, Trump has made some pretty brash statements, but the Democrats have overreacted. And this is an example of how completely impotent the Democrats are. They can't process an impeachment hearing against Donald Trump after he's committed unthinkable acts, working with Russian oligarchs, profiting from the White House, making 255 times more from his golfing excursions by getting Secret Service agents to buy his hotel rooms. Let's talk about his 23 violations of the Emoluments Act, including the Trump Hotel, which has cleared $90 million in profit in the past 2.5 years. Let's talk about all those issues and how your president is ripping everybody off and getting away with it. I'd rather talk about that. Now, Trump has made some statements that are brash and may be perceived as racism, but it's nothing. It's nothing at all. But the Democrats, they want to fixate on that. They want to talk about him being a racist as opposed to taking on the real issues, which is obvious suppression of information by Robert Mueller, the fact that he won't talk about the dossier, the fact that he won't even investigate Paul Manafort's second trial, never even happened, where money laundering would have been discussed with Russian oligarchs. And the fact that Mueller never even got 10 years of Donald Trump's tax returns with a subpoena, which is an example of his dereliction of duty and how Robert Mueller should be prosecuted right now for that dereliction of duty. I believe that Robert Mueller may be working for the very same people that controlled our election. That's how serious these problems are evolving right now. You're going to bed early? Okay, thank you. Well, thanks, Ad the One, for coming in and saying hi. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you guys can come in and go when you want. It's no big deal. And we're only down to 2 hours on my vacation, so you guys can take a vacation too. They say the Great Plague is brewing in the streets of various cities. There's talk of Black Plague in LA. It's only a matter of time before something biological spawns forth. Well, that would be a conspiracy theory of pandemic, which is often thrown around, that the elitists are going to infest some area like San Diego or LA. You know, there's evidence that they may have contracted Hep A, which is the most dangerous, down in San Diego, from blankets. There were blankets distributed to all the homeless people down in San Diego prior to the Hep A contagion that killed 15 people. Remember that old trick that the Western culture brought to the Native Americans? It's still being deployed. Blankets contaminated with disease. Yeah. So don't kid yourself. The people that want to get rid of this country, and also the people in it, are probably up to it right now. They're probably trying to kill off homeless people. You know, I raised this question recently among a couple of friends, and I was talking about the FEMA barges. You know, those FEMA barges that were outside of Hurricane Harvey. There's something weird about that. There's not one single video or photograph of inside the FEMA barges on the internet. Was I a Democrat in 9/11? I guess I was, yeah. No, my grass stopped growing. My home, the grass stops growing in July and August. It's ryegrass, so it shuts down. There's a shortage of water during those times, and it just completely stops growing. So it's kind of nice. We can travel and not worry about mowing the lawn. Well, my point is that these FEMA barges may not be FEMA camp boats at all. Have you considered the possibility that they may be extermination centers? Because there's not one single photograph of inside these barges, yet all these people, homeless people from Hurricane Harvey, were put on these things. And maxed out credits going, whoa, Dave's right. Wow. Vine Hops is going, oh my God, you're right. You know, the whole Jussie Smollett thing is now being played out by the number one fraud in the Democratic Party, Elizabeth Warren. Check this out. Yeah, thank you, maxed out credit. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is just so funny and weird and sick and bizarre. Well, let's be clear. Elizabeth Warren claims two men in colonial outfits assaulted her with smallpox-infested blankets. No kidding. Were they the same people that Jussie Smollett hired to throw bleach on his face? I mean, seriously. This woman is so full of it, she claims she was Cherokee Indian, had a free ride in college, never paid a dime, had affirmative action pay her way, then got a job as a minority professor at Harvard where she made hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now claims she's running for president after getting only less than 1% DNA attributed to any Native American. And it wasn't even Cherokee Indian. Which means that most Indo-Europeans have more Native American in their bloodstream than she does. So she got all that money and she's not being charged with fraud? I'm sorry, but I live in America where anyone who commits fraud or perjury gets charged with a crime, and I will charge Elizabeth Warren with a crime because Donald Trump doesn't have the balls to do it. Thank you. Any other questions? I'm reading chat. You went on a cruise and met a woman that won the Iditarod dog sled in 1985, and she reminded you of Sarah. Wow. It's like Outward Bound woman who, that's pretty impressive. You're lucky to go on a cruise, free throw. I understand that cruises like to Alaska off season are as low as $1,500. And I thought to Sarah, I said, maybe we should take a cruise sometime. No, I've already gone as far as William Cooper could go and beyond. I don't necessarily believe that there are elements in our government that are corrupt. I know for a fact that they are. Really? You don't, when you say cruises are really shit, Dave, that means they're good? Because I'm trying to read what you're saying, because most people think that that's bad, that's good. So you really like cruises? Oh, it's a waste of time. It's for fat people. Oh, so you don't like it. Okay, so you're not speaking with upspeak like so many people do now. That means you were born in 1975. Yeah. I would put your age at approximately 43? 44? Okay, Huang Wang is going to grab a link. Thank you, Huang. David, when is Hillary apologizing for being friends with the KKK racist Robert Byrd? Oh, please. Robert Byrd was a well-respected congressman. Just because she was involved with him, I mean, you could do better than that. Come on, man. I mean, you got the Hillary body count, and you bring up this crap? Robert Byrd was an eloquent spokesman. He had every right to speak out. And why are you people calling everybody racist when you yourselves are racist for calling people racist? Well, maybe he was KKK. That's a terrible thing. I would never support him, but you're picking on Hillary for the wrong reasons. I can ban more people, yes. Why don't you pick on her for the body count and the fact that the Whitewater files were all at the missing building, the building at Oklahoma City bombing all blew up right at the center where the Whitewater files. Well, why don't we talk about that? Solve a storage puzzle, what?
Good afternoon, everyone. Grand Solar Minimum Channel putting it out.
Imagine the impact next year. We're already seeing empty shelves. They're blaming poor harvests. Walmart having difficulty, Target showing shortages, and it's not because of Hurricane Barry. UK, Chatham stores. Ontario, again, oh, it's our distributors. But don't worry, it'll get better. Kenya with shortages. Food banks now asking emergency relief supplies. They're running out of food too. And you know what? Your hourly compensation for productivity is decreasing.
Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, we know that. Yeah. Okay. Again, people talking about the problem without discussing the solution. America's third party. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Dave, Biden had to apologize for working with racist Dems in the 70s. Why shouldn't Hillary have to apologize? That's the point. Okay. Well, I think Hillary should apologize for making a statement that all blacks look alike. That was horrible. Yeah. And just like it would be wrong for a black person to say all whites look alike, you know? Because we obviously are all different, unique individuals. You want me to wear a wig tomorrow? Really? That's not a wig, that's a plastic bag. I don't think that's appropriate right now. Thank you. I don't trust the things Hillary says, but you're picking on the wrong things. Why don't you focus on the body count of 147 people that have died in mysterious deaths that knew something about Bill and Hillary? Well, the fact that Trump said a racist tweet about the Justice Democrats, saying they should go back to their countries, is irrelevant. And I know, Frazzle Drip is still on my mind from last night, Vine Hops, yeah. But the fact that the racist tweet is out there and the Democrats are making a big deal about it shows you how powerless the Democrats are. There's so many dirty things going on in Donald Trump's administration that they can't even get their fingers deep into because Nancy Pelosi is simply a mouthpiece for conformity and mediocrity. I agree Trump's a bigot, but you guys, you're picking the meaningless target by going after racism. All of you have forgotten the bigger picture. Russia has invaded itself in our election and controls Donald Trump. Now we're talking about minor racism issues. I mean, can you believe how stupid this is? I don't care if Trump's a bigot. It's irrelevant to me. He's also an imbecile. But how is that going to change our country in a better way? Are you going to cook something tomorrow? No. I gave you a perfect recipe. Organic brown rice you can buy for $2.35 at Safeway. Pre-cooked. a package of 95-cent broccoli at the dollar store, some chopped onions, and a $1 package of sausages. Right. All about $4 gets you dinner on the road in a microwave. And I proved how to do it. Yeah. I made it for everybody tonight. Took me all of what, I'd say 2 minutes to prepare. Yeah. Well, you don't have to be allergic to sausages. You can just purchase non-meat sausages, meat alternative sausages. Yeah. Is Trump a pedophile? Well, it's not that he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking of young teen girls. He was at the heart of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking of young teen girls. He was close to, in fact, the alleged Virginia Roberts issue occurred at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's hotel. Trump and Epstein are very close and have been for decades. I'm not slacking on my health. No, my sausages were 100% organic, and there were no MSG, no nitrates in them. You can put a carrot in there, but it takes longer to cook. Well, no, Trump was. Have you remember I talked about Justice for Katie last night and how that woman dropped charges because Trump threatened her life? She said that Trump's people threatened her life. That's why she couldn't continue with her case when she was raped by Trump at Mar-a-Lago when she was 13 years old. You don't know anything about Justice for Katie? Well, don't go to the website because it's full of malware. You know, I could go to my video and copy, but I'm just going to read chat instead. Yeah, are you quoting me? You can put a carrot in there, but it takes longer to cook. Wow, 100 views. I guess the other show isn't on tonight. The other show can't sustain itself, Tom. I do a regular show every night and have for nearly 11 years. Coming up August 15th, we'll be having our 11-year anniversary. I don't think Tick and Time Bags really cares whether he's in or out of the FEMA camp, depending on whether he's straight or gay. I think he's gay, so. But consider this kind of like a religious truth session, if you will, without the religion. Okay? Yeah, where we take on every subject under the sun, and I instantaneously respond to you. It actually was a good meal, and it wasn't overly spiced or overly salted, and everything worked. 10 minutes in the microwave, and boom, your dinner is ready. My hair is great, thank you very much. Yeah, I was walking in the lobby today at this conference of very important people, and I was impressed by the fact that they were impressed by the fact that I was impressed by everything they said and did. Dave, people are forgetting Obama. Let the Russians go unchecked in 2016, not Trump. People keep blaming Trump, Obama, and Democrats. Well, the Democrats and the Republicans, Willie, are both corrupt. Get that through your thick head, okay? Well, I go low salt and spicy, and it's just as good as salt. In fact, you can use lemon and lime to salt something, make it seem salty without adding salt. My official position on Frazzle Drip is if it happened, we need to prosecute immediately. And I believe the NYPD is hiding evidence, 600,000 emails that Anthony Weiner had in his laptop. Need I go farther? I mean, there's all these false flags we could talk about. There's over 50 different events that have happened in this country in the past 10 years and outside the country that have very little evidence supporting them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an interrupted moment. We are getting a request for Larry Sinclair. Ladies and gentlemen, the most courageous homosexual man in history. Let him say a few words. Larry, go ahead. We're waiting.
Where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much. That was Larry Sinclair who spoke out, and the media ignored him. telling everyone about what a corrupt idiot Obama was, having lied about his drug use to the world. Donald Trump is also a corrupt person, and he's got ties directly to Russian oligarchs. So talking about Obama at this point is kind of a moot point. I did enough of that during the blackface phase of my life. But I got to tell you, now we have to really address the issue that maybe Russia, or the Zionists that control Russia, the same people that control AIPAC, are actually trying to deliver a new world order and use America as their agent of destruction. Now, we're the most powerful nation in the world, as you know. Thank you very much. But we're being manipulated. Now, don't you think the most powerful nation in the world would want to fight against internal manipulation and corruption? Don't you think that they would have some means by which we could prevent that? Instead, we've allowed lobbyists to control our two-party system and literally dominate every single aspect of our political life. I know. Well, the thing is, A. Spade, you're spinning the story about a Somalian neighbor attacking you for flying an ATP flag. You're going to encounter a lot of corruption. Yeah. And when those people see honest people flying an ATP flag, and like I showed you earlier in the show, you can download my poster at America's Third Party. Hey, Super Dave, you're not allowed to do that. That just takes up space in the chat room. No, Larry Sinclair passed a lie detector test with 99% certainty. Are you saying that a person who's committed a felony prior cannot speak out about somebody who's also committing a felony? So you're undermining the criminal justice system by saying that some felon can't actually speak about something he witnessed. Why would you do that? Why would you want to undermine the criminal justice system and teeter the scales of justice in favor of people who are not felons? I think we have to look at the fact that felons can testify against other felons. No, you're basically trying to tip the wheels of justice on its head and dump it down the drain and flush it down the toilet. I did not know the stakes. Some years before my romance with white movie actress Kim Novak came to an end. Are you reading or reciting out of some text? You're not allowed to cut and paste, Sammy. You know, I don't think you didn't know that. That's a purgeable offense here. You can't just cut and paste out of some ridiculous, obscure website. Well, I know 4chan posted Obama's Columbia student ID, but we're not really talking about Obama tonight. That was a Larry Sinclair diversion that some idiot came in the show and asked to see. I'm talking about Donald Trump, the person who's colluding with Russia and the Zionists who are controlling our country. I mean, don't divest from the key subject here, or don't divert from the key subject here. Well, again, more people looking for retardation in the show are seeking to see people acting retarded. This is a common problem in our show now, that we have all these people who just look to see mindless things because they can't take on intelligent thought, straight up. Yeah, I can't explain why you do this, but it's perhaps because you don't understand that there are serious things happening in the world and you're trying to make light of it. You know, it's not like I'm living in some black hole somewhere, okay? Yeah. I mean, we can talk about these things, don't get me wrong, and I'm more than willing to discuss this, but you are kind of making a mockery of our show by doing that. The what's happening guy. All right. Here he is. You asked for him. What's going on, man? This is the guy people say I look like, which is absurd. I don't look a bit like this guy.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't like that guy. He's a dimwit. See this right here? That's your future. If you continue living like this guy. Yeah. Dave, you see this? 1,000 guns, felony charges, Getty Mansion. Yeah, I've been tracking that story. Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. A friend of mine lives up in that area, and he's a gun rights supporter. Man charged with 64 felony counts after 1,000 guns seized at the Bel Air mansion. Wow. And wasn't this connected to a very high-profile real estate agent? Yeah. Notice how her name is not mentioned here? A 58-year-old man with ties to the Getty family has been charged with 64 felony counts after police seized more than 1,000 guns from his Bel Air home in May. Gerard Damien Shans is charged with 23 counts of possession of an assault weapon, 17 counts of the transfer of a handgun with no licensed firearm dealer permit, and 15 counts of unlawful assault weapon activity, 7 counts of possession of a short-barreled rifle or shotgun, and 2 counts of possession of a destructive device. He was arrested in May after officials received a tip about a person illegally manufacturing and selling guns in a home in the 100 block of North Beverly Glen Boulevard. Yeah, but no mention of the very wealthy real estate mogul woman who had the ownership of the place and was dating the guy. Interesting. You see how mindless news has become? It's like non-reporting now. It's like they don't even go into detail. Hey, Cinderella, what do you got? Well, let's be clear. Damien. You're thinking
This is not
Damien.
juggling.
Oh, no, I don't do
This is
Penn and
called
Teller, I'm
misdirection.
sorry. They're complete controlled shills of the Zionist elites. Hey, outcast, you don't belong here. You're an outcast. You have been removed from the show. Captain Howdy is not going to head to Area 51 because you're headed to Area 151, which is slightly off mark, Tom. Yeah, apparently all these 250,000 people that are claiming that they're going to be storming Area 51 are all being put up to do it by a bunch of CIA, NSA operatives at 4chan. So that people don't talk about any real issues. We just talk about Area 51. Isn't that nice? Well, you're doing very well, Tom. You're improving. Your retired chat profile has increased your social credit here on the score by at least 2 points. Now, I have generated a social credit score for everybody in the show. I haven't told you what your social credit score is based on my gradual assimilation of information. But no, you cannot be a mod. But I am going to deliver that social credit score to you at some date in the future, whether you're in or out of the FEMA camp. Amber, are you looking to get over here? Or no, she's gonna lay down on the bed. You're not actually coming in the show, are you?
Yeah.
Only if you want. We're talking about issues other than racism. So the Democrats, that's all they want to talk about is labeling Donald Trump a racist. Well, sure, he's a bigot and a racist, but I mean, come on, he's got Russian oligarch involvement. I mean, let's talk about the real issues, okay, Democrats? My goodness. Where are you at? I'm outside of the Orion galaxy, in between Andromeda and Uranus. Yes, somewhere in between those two celestial bodies. Tossing drugs in toilet could lead to meth agators. I know. I read the story last night. Tennessee police, methagators. There must be a lot of meth in Tennessee. Well, I come into this chat, Dave starts running his crazy mouth. Uh-oh, Captain Howdy has been muted. You are now muted indefinitely, Captain. Well, it's not Uranus, it's Uranus. Yeah, it's not about... And it's one of the gas planets, like Neptune and Mars. But somewhere in between Andromeda and Uranus is a very special place. Hey, let's Truth Tuesday the whole show, and we'll talk about, just tell it like it is. The whole country is a bunch of hypocrites living a life that they've simply watched on TV, and they all want to duplicate it. All right? We're being fed lies daily, propaganda, to make us all think alike and consume. The truth is, they've pulled a wool over our eyes. They've got us all eating toxins, drinking fluoride, and breathing lithium, or whatever else heavy metal-wise are sticking in the atmosphere. I don't know, Tom. You're fixated. Move on. The Andromeda Uranus joke was about 37 seconds ago. We're on to the next one. Last week I sent someone on Reddit this I am vote David Sponheim 2020. Do you know what they sent back? No, what did they send back, Vine? I'm curious. Waiting. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, you told me that last night. Are you repeating it in the same chat? He said he's some sort of a Navy SEAL. He's involved in numerous raids on Al Qaeda and have over 300 confirmed kills. This is what he said. Wow, I guess you dealt with a real psycho, man. Don't post our links in psycho blogs. That's your best bet. I actually posted some stuff in a military blog back in 2009, and I was reading all this crap from U.S. military personnel that were talking about invading Iran. And I was talking about my safe zones, and they were saying, yeah, that'll never work. Automated safe zones for safe havens for people in war-torn countries. Oh, that'll never work. But somehow they believe that a ground war in Iran would work. I mean, these are the same people that are sitting back behind Trump going, yeah, we ought to just attack the Iranians and get it over with, yeah, and then they're not gonna fight back, no. The Iranians have kinetic weapons, just like the Israelis and the U.S. They have directed energy weapons too. I mean, it wouldn't be like a light cakewalk. Oh, no, we can have a ground invasion in Iran, huh? Yeah. So, I mean, I have been battling these people in blogs for years. Yeah, but I gave up. Because the Trump tards have invaded all the military blogs with their rhetoric. They won't listen to a damn reality check. You know that Donald Trump, a known draft dodger, who pretended to have bone spurs in his feet, never had surgery to prove it? There's not one scar on Donald Trump's feet to prove that he had bone spurs. Yet he evaded the Vietnam draft 5 times. He's the guy that wants to get us into a ground war with Iran? A man who didn't have the balls to fight in Vietnam? Can you believe this? Yeah, he doesn't have any scars on his feet to prove he had bone spur surgery. That's BS. In fact, the 2 daughters of the podiatrist that wrote that script said that their dad had free rent for years from Donald Trump's father, Fred Trump. Isn't that unbelievable? I'm sorry to blow your bubble, but that's the truth. You got a draft dodger as a president who's trying to attack countries and destabilize world peace. I can tell you I wouldn't do that. Dave, the people in the room next to you will complain of your loudness. Well, lucky for you, I found a room that has a hat rack on one side and a sales office on the other. Brilliant. David, please do a Jewish voice and say this. Oy vey, where can I go to get a good corned beef and rye with kosher mustard and pickle? I don't want to schlep too far for a good sandwich. Well, former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens has died at the age of 99. And that's one hell of a long life. So congratulations to him posthumously. Congratulations, John, if you can hear me in heaven or hell. John, if you can hear me in hell. Yes, I am traveling. Right, James Bond's Lashana Lynch as 007 explained what this means for franchise's future. It's a little too esoteric, Max. You may want to pull back from esoterica and get back into the meat and potatoes of Truth Tuesday. Yeah, we've been traveling for a few weeks now, ever since the show went to 6 to 8, Monday through Friday. I am Luke Stoneshire. Luke Stoneshire, how are you? It's been so long since we've interacted through chat. Okay. So what you get with me is 100% authentic, real, interactive, and virtual. David Sponheim. Every night, no matter where I am, except for Saturday and Sunday right now. We're trying to visit friends, and I have to fit a little personal life into this thing too. And I'm asking for only 2 hours a night for your time and patience, and thank you so much. I will be extending the show another 21 minutes to offset the DDoS attack that occurred on our VPN earlier. Yeah, our VPN was DDoS attacked. And all the signs and symptoms, it was a direct attack on a VPN. I am here virtually, and in reality, I'm here in my body. I've been doing the show since 2008, as you know, and we're coming up on our 11th year anniversary, August 15th. I can't broadcast from while I'm driving because I don't have a hotspot. And I don't have a hotspot simply because I don't want to pay for a hotspot. But you know, I'm kind of thinking you're right. Why don't I broadcast 24/7 from the car? But in reality, I can only give you little tidbits of my show. And we're really just about commentary and keeping up with the news. And right now the news is ridiculous. The Democrats are all hot and heavy. C-SPAN covered the House's new alleged attack. They're going to put together a statement against Trump's racism. On what grounds? That he didn't have freedom of speech? There's no real statement that the House can do to stop a president from saying whatever he wants. Personally, I think the Democrats themselves have taken a tangent and run with it, thinking they could frame it against racism. It's pathetic. What we're seeing in the news today is the Democrats using racism again to attack Trump. Even if he is a racist, it's irrelevant. There's so many other issues that are at play here, like the dossier that is being ignored by the Democrats, like the money that Russian oligarchs paid Paul Manafort to give to Trump, and where that money trail, why it didn't pop up in the Mueller report, which, by the way, has not fully been vetted, and Mueller has not fully testified. All these issues are seemingly in slow motion, yet the Democrats are all over a racist tweet that said that these people should go back to their home country, mainly Ilhan Omar. Well, frankly, if Donald Trump really was our president, I mean officially, not just a puppet or a shill of the New World Order, he would have automatically charged Ilhan Omar with a simple crime of marrying her brother, negating her citizenship. That's what a president with balls would do. Not just come out attacking the woman and say she should go back to her home country. So I think the whole racism issue is a Democrat, it's a bone that they're running with, like a dog with a bone in his mouth, thinking they've got some meat on it when they don't have a damn thing. It's pathetic the way the Democrats attack everybody for being racist. It really is. They attacked me for the same thing. I'd never said a racial slur in my life. Sarah's going to come in. Thank you, Sarah.
Hello. How are you all tonight? It's a lovely day. Still on the road, not home yet, but I'm enjoying my trip. Hello. All right. Oh wait. I have to go back to this one. Tuesday, July 16th, 2019. Oh, I think he just took a shower. The shower back here, I noticed that even my eyes turned red when I took a shower in this area. It's the hard water or something. And the hot water, hard water. It's one of those. What do you mean, hot rails? I think he was wearing something larger before, maybe. Oh, thank you, Maxed Out Credit. Yes, the Rome Queen. David was talking to me today about how I have said this, it's like gardening is not always my thing because I don't like to stand there and water. And, you know, but I do love composting. I don't know why I love composting more than gardening. Like, most people like to grow things, and I like to see things decompose.
it was funny.
Yeah, I know. And like that even goes with math. Like most people know how to add and multiply, and I'm like, how do you break numbers apart? Let's decompose that. Actually, I think decompose is one of my favorite words. Anyway.
Let's decompose this discussion.
And maybe that's it. We can decompose this good discussion. Or it's time to compost this question. Actually, certain families in the schools are looking at after the worms. The students are, like, and families. I was like, well, what's really awesome though is the garden is still growing out there where I left it, because I know I take that as a total compliment, Phil. By the way, thank you. My well, he's only eating fruit. David's eating fruit now, so he's good.
I had a banana and a cookie.
Yeah. Oh, what was Bach doing in the garden? He was out there composing. He was decomposing? Oh, decomposing.
Composing.
Decomposing. Anyway.
He was composing.
All right, anyway. So anyway, that's what it was. I knew I was going on a trip, and I told people last summer I needed people to water the garden because the garden was running off of there was some soaker hoses, but they were running off of rain barrels, and I knew that we wouldn't get enough rain, so we needed to supplement it with water. But now they put in this awesome system, and awesome irrigation system that's like keeps the garden watered all